Okay, so we're back to working on the Sentry Guns here. I've started uploading videos already. Needless to say, I think I made a mistake on uploading those two wargaming video, or not wargaming, Men of War videos. They're gonna take 2 hours each. That means by the time they finish, my brother's gonna wake up and start bitching that he can't play his Call of Duty clones and get high FPS. Yeah, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I did say we're gonna work on more Sentry Gun stuff. However, what we're gonna do is bring the ICBM Sentry Guns back. So I know a lot of you guys have been requesting this, and this is going to happen. It is going to be an independent add-on how it was designed originally to be. After all, when I made the Sentry Guns, I never really wanted them to be part of ICBM exclusively. This is the reason why I kept pressuring Calclavia to split them off into their own add-on. This is the reason why we got that mess of an add-on system for ICBM, where you had a core which had some content in it, then you had missiles, then you had the Sentry Guns. And the plan was always to have had an independent Sentry Gun mod that had content in it because it would have hit more of a larger audience. That was at least my plan, is to get more people to play it because, I mean, Sentry Guns are usable in a lot of scenarios. They're great for decorations. There's quite a few people that have sent me pictures of just using them for ship decorations, not using them for combat or anything. They're great for PvE. They're great for base security. They're definitely great for PvP. You can leave a Sentry Gun in a hallway and you don't have to worry about somebody really screwing your base over. Although they're not a complete deterrent, they do really help. So we're going to get this set up. So I've already done the initial project workspace setup, which is just throwing some properties in here, build scripts, readmes, settings, stuff like that. DMod's going to have to come back through here and probably update the build scripts because I'm pretty sure the wrapper is outdated by an entire major version. And although I copied the build script from ICBM, I don't think I set it up correctly because I put the Armory version in here, and I put a replace tag for the Armory version here, but I don't know if it all works because I can't test it at the moment. But we're gonna go ahead and get this all set up. So new workspace, or new modular, of course. I never really get why they call these modulars. They're basically projects. There's some kind of mentality behind it, but I don't understand the mentality. And there's also a mentality behind this not updating its file path. I don't even know why it catches it. It's not too hard to scan things. Anyway, so we want to grab this entire folder. Yeah, we can grab the entire folder. So we're going to hit finish on this. We'll rename it in a second. First things first is we want to get everything set up in here for source paths. So you want to mark your resource folder as source and that source. Move this off source. You can do resources on this, but I haven't had much success, so I mark it as a source. So that way every time I compile it, there's assets into my compile directory. Dependencies, we are going to need the Armory mod. That's pretty much it. We are going to need to check to see if the Armory mod actually is set up properly. But before we do that, we're going to name this, just call it, do the standard mod thing, except we're going to go after it, and we're going to do -armory -ICBM sentries. That way it sorts right underneath the Armory mod down here, and it makes it easier to find. We want to make sure we kind of get all of our Armory mods to sort underneath the Armory. That way, when we're working on the Armory mod or we're working on an add-on, we can really quickly find what we're looking for. And I need to make sure this exports these two things. And that should be about it. Actually, I need to go add it to my workspace. So we need to come down here, hit plus on this part, and then go find our new addition here. Hit OK, hit apply. Please don't do that. God damn it. There's a stupid thing when you rename modulars that it's like, oh, you can't save now. And it's really dumb. And it has to do with their content system. It's a bug in their system, but they won't admit it's ever a bug. They'll go like, oh, that's an intentional feature. No, it's clearly a bug. Because the error that comes up doesn't say, oh, you can't save because you're doing this. No, you can't save because the source path system. So only one module can own a content root at a time, which is retarded because I would like to have more than one modular potentially have the same source code in it if I want to do, say, 1.7 and maybe 1.8 code development in the same workspace. I can't do that because it won't let you have the same content roots. So you have to go do a whole bunch of really dumb stuff to get it to work properly. This is set up though. Should sort underneath Armory mod now. So we go close armory right underneath here. Cool. We need a new package, and we're going to have to come out here to do this because it collapsed the package on us already. So we're going to need a content folder. We need to make sure we rename this, so rename. And I'm probably actually going to release this mod as just ICBM Sentries or something. I put the word classic in it so people know it's the classic Sentry Guns, but the reality of it is that this is an independent module that gives no fucks about the old nostalgia. So we should see a new package show up here. Cool. And here we want to place a placeholder. So we're just going to do envile, we'll call it placeholder. This will prevent the package from collapsing. Then we want to go gun turret. So we're going to want to make folders for everything. AA, I believe the last one was laser. We're going to Google this real quick. I don't remember my own mod very well. I didn't want to do gadgets, but is this Cal Calabi's old page? That is Cal Calabi's old page. You can go see all the old missile videos and the nice background that was made for us. And this is where I tell you guys, we did have that many downloads. Look at that. Just between January and February, we got 1 million additional downloads back when we were making this mod. And this is where I go and I point out my current downloads and go like, what the fuck, guys? I'm doing like less than 100 downloads a day on these mods, and it's like, this thing was getting 100,000 plus downloads a day back in its glory days. Not to say I ever care to get back to that point, but damn, that's a huge difference. Anyways, I'm looking for a list of content. So I probably want the Volts Wiki because that's pretty much where I've been going recently to look at stuff. This wiki, by the way, was created by the UE team. It's actually copied from our original website. So you'll probably find a lot of our similar spelling mistakes in here. I wrote a few of these pages. Let's see. Yeah, so we had gun turret, laser turret. Cruise launcher was technically a turret. We had railgun, which I'm not re-adding. Yeah, so gun turret, laser turret, AA is not even listed on here. So yeah, we only have 3 turrets to add. Cool. So we just want to set this stuff up. I do need to go copy the old models. I am going to get somebody to update the old models though, so we won't be just using the old originals. We'll try to get something that resembles the old ones, but is a little smoother. Of course, all the models are going to probably be in the machine folder. Yeah, here's the laser turret. I have to find the textures for all this stuff. Oh no, this is Cal Calabi's original laser turret. You can guess what this is modeled after. Star Wars, pretty much. Yeah, I don't care about that. That's the turret he made when he realized I was making turrets. So the problem is we really did get into a pretty big conflict in the UE team, and I'm always sad about this. Hey, it's my original turret. So when I started working on the ICBM Sentry Gun, this was one of the original turrets that was developed. Fuck, man, this is gonna be a pain in the butt to get working. I don't have my texture for it anymore though. It had a beautiful texture. Let's see what the saber turret looks like. This is another one of the turrets we were working on. You guys can probably figure out what this is modeled after. Yeah, it's missing its turret. This is modeled after Borderlands, for those who are not familiar with the game series. So we need to go back to our folder real quick. So luckily it's still on the last open list. So we need a models folder. So we're going to keep that. We're going to keep hunting for our stuff. Luckily I could just go like this and go grab all the models. Just I have to dig through this folder. Oh yeah, we had a bow turret too. I forgot about that. And we're going to copy the railgun while we're at it. So laser gun, AA, yeah, that's everything. So if we open up each one, we can just check to make sure they're all good. So there's the AA in its all its glory with its weird texture. There's my bow turret. This thing was hilarious to work on, by the way. I have some really cool pictures I can show off later. Here's the sentry gun turrets. Laser turret. By the way, I made the bow turret, the gun turret, and the AA turret. I believe somebody came through and did modify the gun turret eventually. This was made by Archadia, although I believe I created the original base for it, which was a single barrel, and it somehow turned into a double barreled. Not too big of an issue. Cal Clavier made the railgun turret, I believe, or actually, maybe one of his artists made it. I'm actually not sure who made this. But there it is. I don't remember if it actually is supposed to render this way, but that's whatever way it's saved. So we're good there. To keep consistently, we're going to rename this file to turt. I'm going to call it AT. It's going to be an AT gun. That's what it was actually designed for. It was designed to kill flange tanks. Okay, so we need a textures. So we're going to go textures, and then we make a folder called models. So there's the laser turrets. There's the railgun. We are missing textures. Probably because they're janky in all the different folders. Okay. Here we go. Somebody tells me we don't actually need those. So you got cannons, then we got gun turrets, then we got laser turrets. Was the cannon actually textured at some point? It doesn't look like it. I'm having trouble distinguishing what this is. I have a feeling maybe it was. We did overlap a lot of texture pieces, so. Okay, that means we do have a laser turret texture, so where's that, this one right here? I don't need this texture. So we've got the gun, the laser, the cannon, the AA. I need the bow turret. So here's turret bow. Okay, here's the Sentry medium texture. That's actually what the Sentry was. I think it eventually was called Sentry medium. Or not. I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna copy it actually. I'm gonna leave it in there. What else do we have in here that I probably need to take a look at? Nothing in particular. Do we have anything for items that we need to keep on track of? We do have the shell upgrade, which is used by the stuff. These were also upgrades for the sentry guns. This was also an upgrade for the sentry gun. I'm not going to copy any of those. I actually might copy you though. Yeah, we're gonna grab you. You are useful. You're going to be the ammo boxes for the sentry gun. So we're going to put you in here. I'm going to copy the bullet. Yeah, we'll just copy all you. You know what? I don't need the infinite bullet actually. Copy the original shell casing. You know, we're going to copy all the original upgrades. We're going to give people that nostalgic thing that they desire. Let's check blocks out to make sure we don't have anything we need to do with the blocks real quick. Probably want to grab the turret platform is what I actually want to do. See what else we got in here. Nothing in particular. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was in here, like barbed wire was a part of the original mod. I don't think anybody really knew that. Concrete. These have all been moved to the military base decor mod. All the explosives, of course, are in classic. We had more concrete we were working on. I mean, there was tons of stuff. That's the reason military base decor exists, is that there was a plan to implement so much content in ICBM that it would have turned into a really excessively bloated mod. And this reminds me, by the way, I need to fix. I sit here and look at my other screen real quick, and look what icon YouTube picks by default. It picks a desktop icon. Okay. So let's fix that real quick. Save. Plus YouTube's not very coded very well. The whole front end needs more work. I say this as a developer, not as a user, because as a user it works. Not much you can complain about. GUIs. I believe this was the GUI used for the Sentry Guns. Seeing as there's nothing special about it, I'm not even going to bother copying it. There's a GUI munition printer. What the? Oh, that's right. We were going to implement ammo stations and stuff, ammo factories. There was so much, like, absolutely weird things that were going to be implemented. Like, here's the hacking terminal for the sentries that was implemented. A few other things. I mean, yeah, there's tons of stuff that was in here. Okay, so we got all the textures we need. Unfortunately, we're going to have to make textures for the actual sentry guns, which won't be too hard to do. I may just render them in your inventory. It's not too big of an issue. But that means we need a bow turret. So package bow, and then we need a new package AT. So we have 5 turrets that are going to be implemented. Railgun's not going to be implemented right now. I probably won't implement it anytime soon. That's because I need to build a whole new set of code to handle turrets that are designed to be controlled by users. And if you guys have seen some of my bug videos on here that are from like 3 years ago, you'll know that those turrets actually broke quite often. There were so many issues with them, and I don't really care to deal with most of that. Anyways, we're going to close all this. Because what we're literally just going to do is duplicate code here. So I'm going to copy this, and we're going to toss it up into gun turret first, is what we're going to work on. So gun turret. We're going to do everything the same. We don't need clips. We're going to do manually fed system. So I need to get rid of Wojujo, and I need to replace it with the domain of the mod we're working on. So our domain is going to be called ICBM Sentry. So I need to go Control R and ICBM Sentry. Replace all. Our ID. So anytime we see this word, we need to go Control R and replace it with Sentry dot gun is what we're going to call it. Replace all. You don't have to be inventive about this stuff. When it comes to ammo, we need a more interesting ammo type. We're literally just going to call it gun turret ammo type. The reason why I'm not being very inventive with the naming on this is all of this stuff is unique to just these sentry guns. Actually, I take that back. The AA gun and the sentry gun both share the same ammo. And their ammo was modeled after 20mm rounds. So we're going to just name it that way. So we want to copy this stuff. We want to put it in here. We need to make sure we have a group, a thing like this. Okay, we got that. We got to go get an Arthur tag. That way it'll prefix everything. So Sentry.20 is what we're going to call these. And then we're going to have impact ammo, and I don't remember how much damage they did, so we're not going to worry about it right now. This is going to be called Sentry.20 ammo, is what this is going to be called, so yeah. Ammo, Sentry20, .basic. Might add more ammo types later, which is why I did that. That's good. That gets rid of a bit of code out of here. We're going to leave the empty effects in here in the gun smoke. We are going to replace this with a smoke trail, because that's what the classic sentry guns had, was a trail. The rate of fire on the base sentry gun, I don't remember, and we're going to have to go explore. I've been avoiding looking at this code. Crappy models. There's the turret medium, by the way. You know, I think the turret medium actually is. Yeah, that's the, you know the turret we were using for testing? This is what this is. That's the testing turret. Shoot, I need to open this folder. So model railgun. What was GS? Oh, we had the laser gate in there. So Sentry Guns had laser gates. I forgot about that. Entity projectile. Did we actually use projectiles? Apparently we did. And you can see me trying to load, you know how like the current system uses a stack-based system? This was the design early on. A lot of the stuff I'm implementing now has been designed for years. It's been in place where I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't quite have the skills necessary to be implementing a lot of this stuff. Like here's our AI stuff. Like we had an ELO server. ELO server has turned into ELO angle. That's what the angle system is. That's the same thing. Our turret AIs were pretty basic. They were a mirror of pretty much the vanilla AI system, and you can see Calculavi and T-Game both help me with this. We had a weird thing with the author tag. I created the original AIs, yet every time these two changed something, they appended their name on it, and of course I did the same thing, because that's what I thought we were supposed to do. It turns out I got told by several people in the Forge development team, you're not supposed to do that. Whoever created the file gets author, and then you can tag underneath it if you made major changes. We get the turret update, is looking for target, or is looking at, so we got all of our same code we have here. You see the finding things. We had a sorter, so we did is valid. Is valid, just check to see if we're in a target bound, can be seen. Of course, we had debug and stuff. Debug was probably hooked in through some kind of debug variable. Actually, no, my luck, debug is just deleted out of here. No, right there is debug mode, and the debug mode was probably turned on via true. Okay. So there's nothing special there. Anti-air selector, you're literally looking at my early versions of my entity selectors. You would just add the name of an ID here, and it would do this. We're going to mimic this same exact behavioral logic to do our selectors and stuff. It's pretty much mostly in place. What I am looking for, what is this? Turret mounted? Okay, this is the railgun turret. Oh god, there's so many things. Prefab for sentry traits. Okay, so this is the upgrade system. This is me experimenting with something that I ended up hating by the time I got it done. It was implemented to do settings on the sentry guns. Here's the dummy for mounting players on it. Here's the turret registry where you actually registered your sentry guns. This is where we got to the point where I am right now, where we can just make sentry guns. And here's what I'm looking for: turret types. So I've got to go find each individual class apparently. Turret auto. Okay. Yeah, you see how these are just data? This is the reason why I wanted to do JSON for everything. We got to a point where the turrets were so well made that all we had to do is specify data. Cool thing is, I can find everything. So search range was 200 on the anti-air, health was 70, rotation speed was 20, and ammo reload time was 5. So that's actually our rate of fire. That's how long it takes us to load a single round. Luckily, we can just do this. Oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. So we can do this, and this will actually just force our rate of fire down to a certain number. That's good enough. This does mean that the AA gun is really heavily limited. Actually, that's AA gun's trait. Where's the gun turret? Gun turret has a 40 reload rate. This tells me that there's something a little bit more complicated than it's going on, which means that these did not just have a rate of fire of 40. So there is a... So this weapon conventional. This is our weapon system, by the way. This is how this actually was designed. I need to go find... Where's weapon conventional? Sentries, weapons, types. Sentries... weapons. So there's weapon damage and accuracy. So there was tons of little data. I was trying to implement a lot of our systems early on. Like here's the bow thing, and what it does is it just fires a bow. That's literally how our sentry gun is going to work. Is our damage type would be entity spawn, and we would fire an arrow. So weapon conventional is what we're using. So ammo amount and then damage. We may have a little bit of trouble at re-implementing these. So go to gun turret, it's 8, so it's using the damage amount. Fires 1 shot of ammo. I gotta find where the reload mechanics are. So I need to figure out how this thing reloads. Okay, we need the turret class. The turret class is in the base turret. By the way, this naming convention was Calculabi's idea. I think. No, actually, this probably was mine, because we're not extending anything there for these are turrets. These are put inside of things, and they work. That's a good way to put it. Here's all of our traits. This is probably mirrored after how Minecraft was doing its stuff. So we got an ammo reload timer. So we got how long it takes to load something. We need to figure out how this is used. Can fire, fire client, fire, set trait, new trait, fire on things. Energy weapon, we just consume energy, which is something we will not be too hard to implement. We got a save and load system, a whole bunch of data. This whole class is not managed at all. On inventory changed. We reset the upgrades every time the inventory changes. Where's our ammo? How we reload? Are we just doing cooldown is how we're doing this? There's a cooldown flag. There's a weapon system.fire, or can fire. Okay, so we go to fire, can fire, send fire event to client, fire the weapon, energy weapon we suck out energy, ammo reload time trait. So that's our cooldown. This is actually a rate of fire check. So our reload time is not how long it takes us to reload a shell. Our reload time is how long it takes us to reload. This means we fire a shell every 2 seconds at 8 damage. So this needs to be 8 damage is what this actually is. So this is minutes, so this is 30 rounds. And this is, I'll say 10. Nah, we'll do 20. So it means we fire 30 rounds a minute, and it takes us 2 seconds to reload. So these two jive up pretty good. Yeah, works. So we've got our first sentry gun already initialized. We need to make sure our ammo type is Sentry 20. Yeah, ammo Sentry 20. Cool. We are not a clip. We are not front loaded. We're breach. I think it's how that's spelled. We'll have to go figure it out. What we at a recording time right now? 28 minutes? Wow. It takes a while to get this stuff done. You don't realize how long it takes until you put a timer on the screen. Let's see. I need to find reload type. Unfortunately, I think reload type is actually in Volt Sentry. Luckily, we can just do this. Okay, yeah, breach loaded. Make sure that's spelled exactly the same or it won't work. Fall off. What do we have for fall off? Don't care about this. Don't care about that anymore. We really didn't even set fall off on this, so this is a pretty accurate turret. We'll leave the default fall off. The fall off's not even implemented yet anyways. Rotation speed, not really implemented. Search range, we can set that. Max health, we can set that. Gun turret really not have HP? Where are the HPs of these? There's got to be some kind of default. Max health is 50, so these have an HP of 50. So this would be what, health value is what it's called? I don't think he's had armor. These had an absolute pathetic search radius. Pretty low rotation speed. They rotated faster with the target, but we're not going to implement this. So this is literally, this is rotation speed if it's just searching for targets. This is rotation speed if it's actually tracking a target, and we're just going to use the tracking target value. We already implemented that. We don't really care about energy at the moment because we don't have an implementation for it. Plus, this needs to be balanced in modern terms, so I don't care about the rest of this at this point. This probably needs to be fixed. Center offset. We'll toy with this over time. I just want to get this started, and then we can kind of roll with it. Yeah. Body width, 0.5 is pretty close. Barrel length, 1 is pretty close. Body height, yeah, that's pretty good. Center offset, we'll leave it there by default. It's probably not actually right. The rest of this does look good. So now we need to copy the render. Go down here, grab the render object, bring it up to here, paste this in here. Oh, wow. Once again, we need to replace this with the correct package. ICBM Sentry, I believe. Oh, actually, cancel. I need to hit Control R on this again to get the name back. Okay, replace all. We need this to be replaced with, just call it gun turret. Ah, did I just mess that up again? It's a minigun gun turret. This is lowercase, by the way. It forces lowercase, so it doesn't matter if we do camel case. Content ID is the content ID we just set. We use the gun type render because it doesn't matter what we set as long as we're utilizing the correct render system. Cool. This needs to be recoded. So this is where we get to have the fun of going all the way back to that package we were just in. So we're going to do this to find it quicker. Armory add-on, ICBM Sentry, source, main, resources, assets, ICBM Sentry, models. And then we want this thing. Throw it off my other monitor real quick. Somebody needs to actually update this model making system because I want to view my old Technic models. And you know what's cool about these? They're named. I'm so happy this stuff is named. You'd be amazed how happy I am about that. Okay. We may need to come up with maybe a new way to handle this. Yeah. The reason I'm saying this is this Sentry depends on a certain style of rendering. And this isn't going to work. So this would be base. Then we want yaw only. So yeah, I'm gonna recode the render system real quick, which means I need to come down to this thing and we can call this pitch, we can call this base, so we're good here. So you got Sentry base and you got the yaw components and you got the pitch components is what it'll be, and we're technically good here. The only difference is this needs to be changed to pitch as well. And then I need to go find the render code and change some things around. Okay. So here we need to render the yaw, then rotate, then render pitch. Because certain components do not render properly when you try to rotate them via pitch. And this is going to, if I actually went and launched this, although the turret wouldn't load because I still have a couple more things to do. But if we actually did this, you would see very quickly why I'm doing this. So we actually are now implementing a layered system. This is basically what this is, although it's not JSON driven. This will eventually migrate into a JSON layer-driven model rendering system where you would define your render layers, and then you would define what affects the render layers. You go, okay, this is render layer 0. You do nothing. So this will be render layer 0 would be this part. Then you go, okay, this is render layer 1. I need you to rotate me by the yaw of the object. And this is rotation layer 2, and I need you to rotate me by the pitch. And then you can have a rotation layer 3 where you go, okay, reset, then rotate me by the yaw again. And you would keep doing that until you were done with all your render layers. That would be the whole point of render layers, of course, is that you could do really complicated render systems, and it wouldn't just be your yaw and pitch of your entity. You'd have head rotation, you would have head pitch, you'd have body yaw and pitch, you would have arm movements, you would have leg movements, you would have movement speed. There would be a lot of factors that would get flooded into your render layer system. So you could take a zombie, for example, and make him into a JSON. And zombie has, 6 parts to him. So you would need 6 different render layers to render his whole body properly. Anyways, back to dealing with this. So we fixed the client's render I believe. So we went down here and we reset his to pitch. And yep. Base is stuff that doesn't move, so there'll be no rotation there. Get rid of these, get rid of that. I think ammo is correct. Yep. So I can close that. So we're back to this. Okay, we have our yaw components. If we pull this up, so base yaw R is a stationary, we don't move object. But then this is a yaw object. So we got yaw R. No, actually, we're just going to make yaw move. So click this, move this way. Okay, so base yaw R. Then we have base yaw R plate. Then we have right brace. Oh shit, this has got so many parts. Right brace F. This is the reason why I'm going to have my modeler redo this, because you see these 3 pieces? These could be 1 piece. And that means I would only have to call render once on all these objects. And we're just going to do this real quick. Hopefully these are spelled the same. And then grab this, Control R. It's not what I wanted to do. Right. Selection, match case, regex, words. Replace. That saves me like 5 seconds pretty much. Then you got the front plate. Then you would have side decor. I'm pretty sure wow, my fingers really messed up the typing on that one. Okay, there's mid plate. This is why Techni models are not really nice, is they are just ridiculous. Oh, we have an ammo box on one side. That's cool. This means we actually do have a item to render and de-render if you have ammo. Okay, we have a rod object. Okay, you are part of the pitch. So we go down here. Now we need to make another object. So pitch. Now I haven't looked at the Minecraft render system yet, but I feel like this is just better than it already. Somebody will have to actually tell me if that actually is the case. Okay, so we have a radio antenna. That is spelled wrong. I'm not going to fix it though, but it's spelled wrong. You know, that was probably me who spelled it wrong too. I give my buddy Dragonlord crap for not being able to spell, but the reality of it is, for a very long time. I struggle with spelling myself. It's nothing to really be ashamed of. I got help. I can spell a lot better now. Um, it's one of those things where I ran into a professor that was like, you know what, you write well logically, but you don't write well practically. Because my sentences didn't flow right, my spelling was atrocious, I used the wrong words constantly, and he helped me for a while. He also told me to go get help with the Student Learning Center at my school, so I got a lot of help, and I was appreciating of it. It's when you get professors like that, that's how you excel. Because of him, I probably the only reason I've gotten as far as I've gotten. Because the reality of it is you can't get far in the world without much help. Oh man, we have that's a mess. So this is empty, and we gotta remove the ammo box. And this extends tert and I think I need to go edit my client render object again. Where is Wojujo's mod? Gotta admit his name is pretty entertaining to say. Wojujo. Sounds like a weird movie or game. This needs to extend pitch. Okay, that all looks good. Shouldn't have to edit anything else. And that gets us our render, and hopefully this is everything we need. I do need to get these models set up. So our model name is turt.gun. So that's where you have to put this down here. Okay. We do not have a texture. And this would be turt.gun is what this would end up being called anyways. We need to go find my texture folder real quick, which I'm doing this on my other screen, so I apologize if you guys can't see it. Eventually I'll get hotkeys set up again. I did mention I did learn how to do it, but I have yet to implement it. We do have 3 textures, so I'm going to implement the... we're going to pull this over here. Okay. Probably implement the friendly texture. This really are new textures. Wow. The reason I'm going wow because these are really high detailed. And you really can't tell friend or foe. The only way to tell friend or foe is there's a little eyeball thing. And I'm like, that's not very useful. That's where that goes. It should work. Okay, but before we can load all this up, by the way, because just doing all this JSON is not enough to actually get it to load, I have to make a mod folder, or make a mod object. There's no way around this right now, because Volt's engine is dependent on detecting a mod in order to detect content. The only way around this is you would have to put all this in your external folder. And the unfortunate part about putting stuff in your external folder is it will not load textures. It will not load audio. It will not load any of that stuff. I have not implemented code for that, and I may never do that. There's just no point. If you're going to have textures and you're going to have all this other stuff, make a mod. It's not too hard. It is really simple. This is literally how easy it is. As we go new Java class, it would be ICBM Sentry. Extends abstract mod. Get rid of our placeholder. And then we'll get new Java class. Common proxy. We really don't need the common proxy, but abstract mod requires it. I need actually this abstract proxy. And then we want to just go implement methods. See, as I said, you need a proxy, so you have to return something there. Actually, you don't really have to return something there, but it helps. So we need some basic stuff. So we're gonna go grab the armory mod. I'll make a template for this eventually too, for you the guys that don't like to actually make mods to do this. This will be ICBM sentries. And then our domain, we're gonna do this public static final string Domain. So we're gonna do. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna copy this from this thing because I'm gonna need all this stuff anyways. So this will be ICBM Sentry.dependencies. This will be ICBM Sentry.version. This will be ICBM Sentry.domain. And we just come down here, and this will be ICBM Sentry, and that needs to be lowercase because that's our ID. And that matches up, so ICBM Sentry, cool. We need to put in here required after armory. That way it enforces that the mod has to be loaded. Reality of it is, if you don't have armory installed, no content. But users are not actually the most brightest people in the world. So to avoid common mistakes of dependency failures and getting a bug report, oh, your content doesn't work, I hate your mod. Literally, that is actually bug reports I get. You do stuff like this because then somebody goes, oh, I just need to download a dependency. They'll still maybe bitch at you though. It happens. If you ever become a mod developer, be prepared to get some hate from people. Not everybody is the nicest on the world. That is guaranteed. Because of this, you're going to want to just keep that in mind and deal with the flack you get. Okay, and this needs to be, we're going to just use comment proxy for both of these. So the package is this, and we're just going to write this and just do common proxy, and we're going to copy this into both sides. What this is Forge initializes a proxy class for either side. It used to contain a bucket proxy as well, but right now we just have client side this, and you can now do mod IDs, I believe. Optional, the name of the mod to load the proxy for, so you can load other people's proxies into your system if you wanted to. That lets you get access to whatever. There's probably a bigger system behind that. This all looks good. Last thing I need to do is copy all of this and put it here, and I just need to get rid of what's in here. The reason we got to do this is there's no wrapper system for the proxy calls at the moment. So if you needed to claim the content is claimed in the pre-init. It is claimed right here. You wouldn't be able to do it because you didn't have that in here. Now, you don't need to do all of this stuff, but if we want to do configs later, if we want to do other things, we want to put maybe some real content in here, we want to put listeners or other things, we're going to need more calls. The good thing is literally the only thing you have to call, and we need to do load complete as well. Put that down there. So if we want to do other things, you need this stuff. So this is the bare minimum. Or this is a mod class. This is literally all you need for a mod class. Pretty simple. We're good. That mod will load now, in theory. Probably will crash maybe the first time, because we probably misspelled something. Looks good. Looks good. We're not going to be able to see our sentry gun because of the fact that the current sentry system is not designed to load other sentry types right now. I've got it forced to the Wojujo's sentry gun while I work on his sentry gun. Although I got his sentry gun done now, so it's all GUI work at this point. I got to get the permission GUI up, target selection GUI, a few other things. I got to then do the friend or foe system, which will then tie into the permission system, so you'll shoot enemy players if they get near your stuff. By default, all sentry guns will be placed in a PvE setting, so that way they don't auto shoot people. You'll have to toggle them on to PvP. I'll make sure I tell the client that. I gotta do tutorial videos for that because he's worried about user friendliness, and I'm like, you know what? The easiest way to deal with users not understanding how to use something, make a very detailed tutorial, and not a boring tutorial. We're noting here. We're like, here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. You're done. That's literally the kind of tutorial you want. You don't want like, oh, here's this. Here's these other features. Here's these optional features. Here's this extra stuff you can do. Here's some tweaks you can do. Here's extra things. That's for a really elaborate tutorial. A detailed tutorial is you cover the absolute basics you need in a detailed manner. So like, here's your gun turret Mark 1. If you put upgrades in these slots, you get increased range. You put ammo in this slot, you put your batteries in this slot. If you need power, you can attach a cable to it. If you need more ammo, you can attach an ammo box to it. If this doesn't render on the side, you have no ammo. If it does render on the side, you have ammo. If this little flashy light renders red, it's going to get ready to shoot you. If it renders blue, it's neutral. If it renders green, it's friendly. In order to set from PvP mode, you would toggle this slot in order to etc. You get the point. Wasting time, why wait for Minecraft to load? Okay, so we got the base system here. So it did, right there's our sentry gun. So it did load. We've got no texture for it. We can't place it. We can't do anything with it. We'll do placement in another video. We're going to end this one. So you guys got to see me create the new sentry gun mod. So that's a good thing. It'll be here pretty soon. It won't take me long to finish it. Probably by the end of the week. I do have class work to do, so there's a possibility it might be the beginning of next week when I actually finish this all up. But they're coming. They'll be here soon. The good thing is, because this is almost entirely JSON driven, as soon as I update the armory mod to a new version, this is automatically functional for the newer versions of Minecraft. The only thing I may have to do is tweak this class, but I am planning on a way to get rid of this class by using more JSON stuff. So there'll be a JSON system that then the Volts Engine content loader, or actually Volts Engine preloader, because the preloader is how it actually works, will hit this class or the JSON thing and go, hey, this thing needs a class, so we're going to create a class with the prefix data, and it will be like all this stuff. You won't need this because this is actually literally only used by FML to detect your mod, but etc. etc. Anyways, be back with more videos later.